title of the show is Figurative Geometry, about how the artists represent abstraction or abstract representation. I think work that's purely figurative or representational has an image, we can recognize it immediately, so somehow we grab the image very quickly. And these works do something else. They deal with perception, they deal with looking. You have to go up close to them. What we've had in recent years, a lot of painting that doesn't involve paint. You have people who use Epson printers, you have people who use various techniques to put an image onto a canvas, but not with a paint, not with a brush. And all of these artists work by hand.
All of these images that are here are things that it's all from found imagery. A couple of these are from record covers, just books that I find, records, pictures on the internet, things that interest me in some way or another. It's a way for me to make something that looks realistic. I'm appropriating them and constantly trying to find something to keep myself interested in the work.
Numbers are the friends and family that I hang out with most. The paintings are composed with these selected sets of prime numbers. They're a celebration of time and future, so it's really spiritual. I think of them as adoration paintings, so they are full of devotion, and the gas that is love. Because in this time of the planet, I feel like we need to put a lot of magic out here.
Some of the artists, their way of working is long. So also the work has a lot of personality. The artist here is Mamie Holst. Mamie Holst only works in black and white. Every painting has the same title, Landscape Before Dying. She can't travel. She has a chronic disease, a chronic fatigue syndrome. So it also means that she can't paint every day and she can't paint for long periods of time. So this idea that the work is a landscape before dying, it's as if every painting is part of this story of the fact that she's making them. Sadie Benning's work comes really from the facts of her own life, her biography. Now she includes drawings and things from before. She started making art when she was a teenager. The works that she makes now are very different from all the other works here because they're very sculptural. They're carved in wood and then pieced together like pieces of a puzzle. Ulrike Müller's work also stands out for the most part from the other artists because it's not on canvas. It doesn't seem to be painted because they are enamel, and she's basically baking them in a small oven in her studio. The four works here create one work, so it's an installation, and you're meant to move from one element to the next. There are four. So again, this idea of looking and perception and the fact that a person is in the exhibition, approaching the works, moving between them, animates them.
Généralement, je construis les peintures avec différentes couches. Je pense que l'inspiration vient du quotidien. Toutes ces influences sont assez secondaires. L'art optique, je ne pense pas être en continuité de mes influences, que ce soit l'art optique, que ce soit l'expressionnisme ou tout ça. Je fais abstraction de tout ça, en fait, et pour créer quelque chose qui me tient à cœur, mais je ne me sens pas en continuité forcément avec tel art ou tel art. L'art optique, par exemple, c'est plutôt quelque chose dont je me sers, en fait, pour donner les ombres et les faux volumes sur un volume, en fait, de créer un volume fait dans l'image sur un volume réel dans l'espace, en fait.
I'm approaching the painting from its reverse side. So what you see is the back side of the painting. I was approaching the gesture like a workman who would just apply, for example, glue on the back side of a tile. And one idea was, I was thinking of paint as just being, let's say, mayonnaise or butter. A painted gesture could be just to spread butter on a piece of toast.
My work comes out of making the work, and kind of where it's ended up is this kind of interest in both abstraction, but also in like textiles. And these paintings they're all done in one day, in one sitting, because it's wet into wet. So once I start a painting, I basically have to finish it before I leave it. Usually in the center, there's like a figure, and then there's like an environment that it's in, kind of a background, and that the relationship between those two things, that's something I think about a lot. What I kind of feel like people will respond to is like something about how it feels to be like a human, you know. That's kind of how all art works, that kind of recognition that it's, you're like, there's something that's weird, but there's something about that that just feels right.
Recently, the process has just been making paintings that like kind of refer to textiles or rugs or blankets or quilts. They're painted on fabricked cloth, gingham, so it kind of sets like a tone or a place for the paintings to happen. Gingham being like a kind of regular like everyday pattern that you might see on a bed sheet or a tablecloth, and it kind of sets the place for the paintings. And then also gingham has like a close-up, has like an optical pattern, or gets a little trippy, like kind of is able to go back and forth.
It's very uncommon for me to be in a studio and ask someone what this is about or what it means. You have to kind of get on board with it. I feel like what it's going to be about, I'll find out later. It's not the most important thing. But part of understanding the artworks is to show them and write about them. And I think to collect them, because if you live with them and you see them, they become part of your visual environment.